So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, anywhere you may be all over the world. My name is Oluwatosin Maja. I'm the managing partner of Position Consulting. And you know, at Position Consulting, we are an audit firm, accounting firm, consulting firm. We ensure that you are aware with all your tax compliances, all your accounting, record, financial structures, CAC services, registering all your business and all of that. So today we are bringing you a very important video concerning your tax relationship between your tax obligations and your registered business. When you register your business with Corporate Affairs Commission, what are your tax obligations as a business name, sole proprietorship or partnership, as limited liability company, then NGO and the likes. So what are your tax obligations? That is what we are bringing to you in this video. And remember, the Nigerian Tax Act, NTA, is already a law, and it is starting 1st of January 2026. So we are ensuring that business owners, either sole proprietorship or limited liability companies, NGO, they are aware of all their tax obligations so that they will be ready for next year tax compliances, and even starting from now, so you can ensure your tax compliances from now. I just had a discussion with one client. They registered their business as a business name, but we look at that business critically, that no, this business is supposed to be registered as limited liability company, because if you are a limited liability company, there is an advantage of taxes that you will have compared to a business name. So I was discussing with the clients, and I advised that even this business, there's something we need to do, separate all those business. All what you have combined together, let's separate them. Let it be an entity to avoid complexity, ambiguity, and issues that may come up later. Because each of those businesses that were combined is already a wide industry, already on its own. Let them be a legal entity so that you will know which one is doing well, which one is to be improved on, and all of that. So that is what we are bringing to you this morning: registering your business and your tax obligations. So if you look at the video, the screen we've shared with you, at my left hand side, we see a tax table, and at my left hand side, we see another tax table. The one at my left hand side is the one that we are currently using now as we speak, the current tax law for personal income tax. This is basically relating to personal income tax. So when you register your business with CAC, know that you are being taxed on a personal income tax basis for business names, sole proprietorship, partnership businesses. They are taxed based on this table. Whereas if your business is registered as a limited liability company, it will be taxed on company income tax. We will be telling you all of this in this video. So look at the table very well. The current tax that we are using for personal income tax, for employee, for business owner that are registered as business name. And of course, if you also register your business as a company, right? You as a business owner, whatever you are earning as salary in your business, you will also be taxed based on this. But your company will be taxed on company income tax, which is different, and the advantage of that. So the first one, the current act we are using, after all your income has been computed and all of that, you have taken all your relief. This is the table that your income will be taxed on. The first 300,000 at 7%, the next 300,000 at 11%, the next 500,000 at 15%, then followed by 500,000 at 19%, 1.6 at 21%, and anything above 3.2 million will be taxed at 25%. If you place it by the other side, on the right-hand side, you will see that the new tax act that will be taking effect next year, January 2026, will be 800,000 exemption at 0%. The next 2.2 million is at 15%, while the next 900 million is at 18%, followed by 13 million at 21%, 25 million at 23%. Then anything above 50 million is at 25%. So when we do all those calculations and all of that, there was just a slight difference, right, between the current tax that we are using and the NTA of the personal income tax that will be taking effect next year. So if you see it now, that if you register your business as a business name, right, you will be taxed based on the one at my right hand side from next year, and it's a whole lot. So that's why when you come to us to register your business, we will give you advice. See the tax obligations for registering as a business name, and of course there are some business that cannot be registered as a business name. For example, school, education businesses cannot be registered as a business name. So this is where you can get your correct information from Tozion Consulting. We will enlighten you, we will advise you, give you professional advice on how you're supposed to, comply with laws based on the business that you are operating in, the industry you are operating in. School education cannot be registered as a business name. And there are some other businesses too that cannot be registered as a business name. So meet with the right company, right consulting company, audit company like we, Tozion Consulting, to give you right information on how your business will be registered. So under the first table above, the one under, you will see the first 800. If you are earning 80,000, right, the current tax will be 4,207, right, which is like 5.3%, and on and on. So if you look at the table, you will see how the tax, of your income will be like for the current tax that we are using, which will end by this year, 31st of December 2025. Why the one that will be taking effect next year, you see how it's going to look like, right? The first 800,000 is at 0%, right? And on and on. So there's a comparison between the new tax act, the current tax we are using, and the NTA that will be taking effect next year, right? And we need to let you know too that of course, if you are earning from 70,000 and below the minimum wage, you are tax exempted. 70,000 and below is tax exempted, but anything that makes you earn from 70,001 naira, you will be taxed. So please get that clarity so that you know where you are. Tax is law. You cannot run away from tax. It is law. And the earlier you comply, the better for you, because it is expensive not to comply and it is cheaper to comply. So we encounter different clients, right, that are not compliant, and at the end of the day, they are paying more. So when you are starting your business at the early stage, please, let's ensure you are compliant. Ensure you are compliant. Meet with us. Reach out to us. We are on LinkedIn, Tozion Consulting, YouTube channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, right, with business owner, individual, corporate business owner that will need us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you need business consultation, we offer free business consultation. And if we are serving you as our client, tax consultant, external auditor, right, we always give you advice and everything that will ensure that your business is compliant and you don't have issues with the regulatory authorities. So we move on. So company that are registered as business name will be taxed based on personal income tax. The business owner will be taxed on personal income tax. All what you are doing in that business, right, will be taxed on personal income tax. But if your business is registered as a limited liability company, the company is a separate entity. You are a separate entity, right? All that you are doing your business, all your business transaction as a company will not be taxed on personal income base, will be taxed on company income tax. The only thing that will just be taxed for you on personal income tax is what you are earning from your business. So you agree with me that there's a tax benefit in registering as a limited liability company. Let's move ahead. So now we are trying to tell you that there are different taxes, tax obligations that you need to comply with for your business, right? First, when you register your business, be sure that you need to get a TIN, tax identification number. We have a video on this thing on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment on our YouTube, channels, so that you keep having some compliances video, and other business owners that you know that will need all what we are doing, you can refer us to them. So tax identification number is very important, right? It is what you have, right, to remit all your taxes. So who it applies to? Tax identification number applies to every registered business, or either business name, either limited liability company or NGO, right? It is applied to them. And even individual also needs to get TIN, right? So we have, of course, you need to get your TIN for Federal Inland Revenue Service for all registered business, Federal Inland Revenue Service. And of course, you need to register with the state tax authority like Lagos State LIRS, Ogun State OGIRS, and any state that you are in Nigeria, you register with the state to file for your taxes, right? We have taxes that are remitted to states and taxes that are remitted to Federal Inland Revenue Service. And remember that Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, will no longer be FIRS from next year. It will be Nigerian Revenue Service. Then other obligation is company income tax. For all limited liability company, you will be taxed based on company income tax. And that means that you must have been maintaining your accounting record. Any business at all, maintain your business record. Keep all your business, right? From us as Tozion Consulting, we have accounting software that we implement for clients. We implement for clients because at this time, you cannot be doing paperwork anymore. You can't be using biro and paper to be writing all your business information. It doesn't make sense. So you can call us for your accounting software implementation. You can visit our website at tozionconsulting.com and see all our products and services, right? You can reach out to us. You can email us at tozionconsulting@gmail.com. You can call us on 081-5077-5328, right? We are on all social media platforms. You can reach out to us to ensure that you implement accounting software, maintain all your accounting and financial record, right? So that when you do all of that, it will be easy for your audited accounts to be prepared. Not that you'll be lumping your personal transaction with business transaction. It will not make sense. So that you pay the correct tax with all the correct record keeping, your accounting record that you have. Remember that CIT, that's company income tax, right, is filed 6 months after the financial year end, or 18 months after incorporation. Anyone that is earlier, 6 months after the first accounting year end, or 18 months after incorporation, whichever one is higher. So companies that are registered as limited liability company will ensure that they file their company income tax on a yearly basis. Then we have value added tax, VAT. Value added tax, remember, is still the same 7.5%, right? It has not changed. So it's still 7.5%, and VAT is remitted to Federal Inland Revenue Service, which will be NRS next year, Nigerian Revenue Service. So VAT is paid on all taxable goods and services. And if your turnover exceeds, well, it's still 25 million as we speak, this 2025. From next year, it will be 50 million. So if your turnover exceeds 25 million, of course, you are going to comply with VAT on all your taxable goods and services. You're going to be adding 7.5% on your invoice. But from next year, it will be 50 million and above. So you can put 7.5% as VAT on your invoice. So this applies to any categories of business. Business name, company, limited liability, NGO. If NGO is doing some certain business, right, of course, their business will be taxed. Their business will be taxed, even though NGO are in a way exempted, but that does not mean that they are not going to file all their taxes, right? You are going to file taxes, but any business that you do as an NGO will also be taxed. 7.5 million, you are going to be taxed. If a church is doing business, the business of the church will be taxed, even though the church is exempted from paying tax, but not that the church will not file tax. They will file tax. NGO will file tax, right? But they will not pay tax. But if they are doing business, the arm of that NGO, church, they are doing business, that business will be taxed. So VAT is registered with Federal Inland Revenue Service. We will ensure all these tax compliances. You can call us, right? So you charge VAT at 7.5%, unless whatever you are doing is zero rated goods. Of course, zero rated goods is zero. You cannot pay any tax on that. So remember that VAT is remitted on the 21st of the following month. If you charge VAT this October, you must ensure that you remit next month, which is November, on or before 21st. That's 21 of the following month. So we are here to serve as your tax consultant, external auditor. Can outsource your accounting service to us. We'll ensure that we are your business partner. We are your supporting business partner. So you just face your business. We will ensure that your business is compliance, and we are helping you with all your necessary information that your business needs to comply with the regulatory authority. So another tax obligation, of course, this is very important, your payee. For companies that have employees, you must file your pay as you earn for your employee. When you pay your salary, based on what you agree with your employee, you must deduct the tax before you pay them their net salary. So you must deduct the tax. We have shared this video of personal income tax payee, right? Payee is for employees in an organization. Personal income tax is for business owner, right, that are earning salary in their business on a monthly basis, which of course they will file for direct assessment at the end of the year. So both payee and personal income tax, right, must be done. Why payee is on a monthly basis for employees? Personal income tax is once in a year for business owner, sole proprietorship, entrepreneur, and all of that. So you can reach out to us. You can serve as your tax consultant while you are facing your business. We'll be ensuring that all these taxes are being remitted on your behalf. And this payee, remember, it is remitted to the state of where the employee is residence, not where the business is resident. It is where the employee is resident that the payee and personal income tax will be remitted to. If an employee is working in Ogun State and the office where that employee is working is in Lagos State, the employee tax will be remitted to Ogun State, not Lagos State, where the office is. So if you need any clarification on all of that, that's why we are explaining this in this video. Then we have what we call withholding tax. Withholding tax is a tax that is deducted at source before you pay the suppliers, right, the contractor, and all of that, the payment of whatever they do. So it is a tax on certain payments like contracts, professional services, rent, dividend, interest. So business must deduct it, right, from the invoice of the contractor before they pay them their final money, right? And remember that withholding tax is a tax credit. It's a credit that you use to offset your tax liability. So deduct it before paying the suppliers or the contractor the money. Then we have other taxes and levies, like, of course, educational tax is for company that are filing their CIT. We have stamp duties on official documents of business and all of that. You pay stamp duty on it. We have capital gain tax, which will be tax on personal income tax basis from next year. And then we have business levy for state, development levy, right, which of course it has been updated in the NTA, in the Nigerian Tax Act. So these are all the taxes that must be complied with. Then record keeping and filing returns, right, must be ensured so that you are paying the right taxes. So why registration matters for tax compliance? Of course, for legal requirements, it's a legal requirement. Without proper registration, CAC team VAT registration applicable, you might risk being compliant, which may lead to fine, interest, and legal issues, right? There are legal issues if you don't comply with tax. Then access to credit, contracts, banking. Many former bank, government contract grants investors require proof of registration, valid tax identification number, tax clearance certificate. How can you get tax clearance certificate if you don't even have a tax identification number? If you have not been filing tax, for individual, you must file your tax for 3 years consecutively before you can get tax clearance certificate. And for businesses, you must have been filing your tax before you can get tax clearance certificate. We have help organizations to get their tax clearance certificate. Individual business owners get their tax clearance certificate because they ensure that they are filing their tax and we have educated them properly. So proper tax treatment. Registration ensures you can benefit from allowable deductions. If you register for tax and you are filing your tax, of course, you have allowable deduction. Input VAT credit for manufacturing and those that are supplying products or the other. It's put your business in good compliance standing with the tax authority. Avoidance of penalty and risks. You avoid it. Non-registered or informal business may be assessed back taxes. They will assess you on taxes. Don't think that because you are in the informal sector, you will be assessed on taxes. Penalty will be enforced. Large sum in arrears with interest if you don't comply with taxes. These are issues And that is why you need to comply with tax. Consequences of non-compliance. What are the consequences? If you don't comply with tax, if you don't file your tax, what are the consequences? Fines and penalties for late registration, late filing of returns, late remittances. For payee, you must remit the following month on the 10th. That's the deadline of the following month. If you deduct tax from your employee, you must file it. And at the end of the year, 30 days after the end of the year, annual filing, all this, all that, you must ensure it for payee. Why for direct assessment, business owner, of course, the filing must be done 90 days after the year end. So those are the compliances, so that you will not be late in filing and heavy penalties, will be put on you. Why for VAT? We have already told you that on the 21st of the following month, you must remit it. Company income tax, 6 months after the first accounting year end, right? You must file it. We prepare the audited account, then we file for you. You must have onboarded on tax formats for companies, and you have your team and all of that. Another thing is possible seizure of business assets, legal prosecutions in serious cases. These are issues, consequences of non-compliance. Then reputational risks, problem. You don't want all of this. Your goodwill, your name to be soiled, inability to win contract, difficulties in partnership. You want to partner with people and they're asking, where is your tax education? Where is your tax clearance? You don't have. It will be an issue. You will lose business opportunity. Then disqualification for government incentive, fundings, tax breaks or reliefs. You will be disqualified. You will be disqualified. So please, let's ensure that you are tax compliance. You can reach out to us. We are President Consulting and we'll be willing and ready to work with you as your business support partner. So until we meet again in another video, I'm Oluwatosin Maja. I'm the managing partner of President Consulting. I'm a chartered accountant and we'll be happy to hear from you and to work with you any day, anytime. Goodbye for now and have a good day.